Good evening, and welcome to the 11th Annual Taste of Giving. I won't sugarcoat it. This past year has been tough on our patients, their siblings and parents, and on the Valerie Fund treatment teams. Our caregivers have had to muster creativity and fortitude to navigate year 2 of treating our kids under the looming threat of COVID-19. You'll hear a few of these dedicated caregivers tonight. But what I think you really want to hear is how last year, from your sofa or from your dinner table, you took action and made a real difference for real people. We are so grateful to Josh and Sharon Weintraub, co-founders of this evening, and to our entire host committee who have made everything possible. They stand behind our kids and they've connected you to the Valerie Fund. I hope you'll be inspired to take action again tonight because the kids need you, we need you. In addition to ensuring the Valerie Fund kids have child life specialists, educational liaisons, social workers, massage therapists, and psychologists during their treatment, we distributed 3 times more in emergency funds in 2021 than in 2019. They went out in the form of grocery store cards, payment for medications, rent, mortgages, and even car loans. We are simply the last option for our Valerie Fund families when their kids are hungry or a patient's medication is running out. Also in 2021, with your support, we awarded 101 scholarships totaling over $400,000. Thank you for making that possible by contributing to the scholarship fund and even creating scholarships in your name or the name of a loved one. In fact, we'll soon start reading this year's scholarship applications. Remarkably, these teens will tell us how the lessons they've learned along the way have helped them crystallize their plans for the future, starting first and foremost with their education. Tonight, you'll meet a few of our Valerie Fund named scholars. And finally, a word about the future of the Valerie Fund. I am so proud to tell you we're in the process of formalizing a brand new partnership. We'll soon bring the Valerie Fund standard of care to children with cancer and blood disorders living on Long Island. The Valerie Fund Children's Center at Stony Brook Children's Hospital will soon support an additional 1,000 kids and families with programs in social work, child life, psychology, educational support, and survivorship. Our Stony Brook kids will be eligible for our scholarships, emergency funds, and best of all, join us at Camp Happy Times, where our current campers cannot wait to return in person this upcoming summer. To our friends watching from Long Island, please reach out and connect with us so we can share all the news as it becomes available. And now, it's time to meet some of the beautiful kids your generosity touches. Thank you for showing them just how much you care.
Hi, my name is Eric Castro and I'm 11 years old. I'm a cancer patient at the Presbyterian Hospital. First, I want to say thank you to God, the Presbyterian Hospital, the Valerie Fund, and the people who have been donating. Last year, I was on a wheelchair.
So, everybody that's watching this video, do not give up, even if you want to and your brain tells you to. Don't. Control yourself to keep on fighting.
And this year, I can stand up and walk. Thanks to the hospital, I'm a lot more better. For kids that are just like me, never give up and keep on fighting because tomorrow's going to be a better day. And please donate so that we can have a better future. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Zoe and I'm 8 years old and I'm a Valerie Fund kid.
Hi, my name is Ethan. I am 10 years old and I am a Valerie Fund brother.
I'll go first. My most favorite thing at the Valerie Fund was when I made slime with Kelsey. I appreciate the Valerie Fund for giving me a soft blanket so I can sleep with.
Thank you, Valerie Fund.
Hi, my name is Cheyenne. I'm a Valerie Fund kid, and I'm 7 years old, and I have a neuroblastoma on my left eye. I'm just a kid that comes home, stays at the hospital, I do school, I play with my sister and brother, and that's pretty much.
I'm Cheyenne's mom. What I love about the Valerie Fund is that they're there for the kids. Without the Valerie Fund, I don't know what I'd be doing. She's doing great, so thank you.
Bye.
Okay, everyone, I'm just breaking in here to remind you not to forget the bug. That bug up in the corner is the text to donate bug, and that's how you're going to help our kids. So don't forget this bug.
When I reflected upon this past year and the challenges I faced in my role as the school liaison for the Valerie Fund of Newark Bethesda Medical Center, I think the word that kept popping into my head was fear. Just to give you an example, I could think of a little girl, a little friend of mine who was at the point in her treatment for leukemia where there was no medical reason for her not to attend school in person. And she wanted to go to school, but her family was terrified, and rightfully so. And I remember walking into clinic one day and seeing Mom in the waiting room on the couch waiting to talk to me. Our eyes met, and hers filled up with tears, and my heart broke. I sat down next to her and just let her cry, and promised her that no one in our facility would send her daughter to school if we thought she was going to be in danger, or we love and care for her too much.
We did lose a little bit of that personal touch that we were so used to pre-COVID. In the hospital, we had to social distance, wear gloves, gowns, face masks, shields. So we really did lose some of that personal connection that we had before.
One of the most heartbreaking things that I've had to do in the past couple years is attend a funeral over Zoom. This was a very special patient, and normally I would have been at the funeral to offer a hug and support to the family, some comforting words. And I'm hopeful that in the next year we're able to get back to a little bit more normalcy.
Many of our adolescent and young adult patients, they were already needing to deal with a great deal of change and isolation with the onset of treatment. But this pandemic has stripped that even further. And it's really become very difficult for them to feel as though they can connect with anyone, really, let alone their peers. I think creating a virtual support space for these teens to get together has been invaluable. You know, that's been exhibited by the commitment that these patients have had to the group and how they've kind of made it their own space to support each other and work through challenges.
In reflecting on the pandemic and its impact on us as caregivers, what hit home for me, or basically helped me to realize the extent of the impact the pandemic had on me, was the recent Omicron surge. Our hospital had to change its procedures and its policies to accommodate the increased patient flow and the increase in hospitalizations in the setting of a staffing shortage. And in kind of preparing us for that, our administration used terms like, we're back in April of 2020. And hearing those words was very triggering for me. It increased my anxiety. I had a visceral reaction to that phrase, because I remember what April and May of 2020 was like, and I wasn't ready to go back there. So for a moment there, it was really distressing, but you take a deep breath and you test your initial assumptions. And yes, we're back in a surge, but this time, you know, I'm vaxxed and I'm boosted. This time I have consistent access to PPE. This time we have experience and we know what we're doing and we know how to handle this, and we are safer this time around. And, you know, most importantly, you know, you go back and you do what you do, and you don't let your patients or their parents know that you're worried. Your job is to be there for them, and You need to create a safe space. You need to be that blank slate that they need so that they can come to you and be comforted by you or get what they need from you and not feel that you're distressed in any way. We just don't have that luxury.
Hi everyone. Well, we almost made it back into the Mandarin Ballroom, but COVID had other ideas. So we decided in favor of protecting each other and the Valerie Fund kids who join us each year, which I happen to think is the most special part of our evening. Valerie Fund kids like Anderson, the typically active 5-year-old you are about to meet, whose suppressed immune system prevents him from being able to be around other children right now, even as his little friends begin to emerge from their pandemic bubbles. You will meet the lovely 16-year-old Tiffany, whose parents, sister, and Valerie Fund caregivers she calls her second family have been her protective bubble since long before COVID-19 erupted. You will also meet a few of the Valerie Fund scholars tonight. They're following their dreams because of the robust scholarship program that was created by so many of you at our second Taste of Giving event 10 years ago, which our guests so generously continue to support every single year. This is the night when we fuel dreams and change lives. We must continue to support these children during their illnesses and to ensure that they thrive. Because of what we do together, they have the financial support to become doctors, physical therapists, social workers, teachers, lawyers, nurses, or members of the business communities that many of you know so well. Their possibilities are endless. The last couple of years have not been easy for any of us, but they have been exceedingly difficult for our Valerie Fund kids and their families. That is why I'm asking you to please give generously tonight. Your generosity illuminates our Valerie Fund kids and their families' paths to healing. It is a guiding light through those dark places where fear and anxiety could easily take hold from the moment of their diagnosis, through months of needle sticks, strong medications, and painful procedures. What you do tonight is transformational. As a Valerie Fund board member and co-founder of this event with my husband Josh, I am so incredibly grateful to all of you on behalf of the 6,000 children we hold lovingly under our umbrella, soon to be 7,000 with our expansion to Long Island that Barry mentioned earlier. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, for being here, for letting the kids know we've got their backs. Now please let me introduce you to my friends, Anderson, Tiffany, and their families.
He's such an incredible boy. He's been a blessing in all our lives. The day of diagnosis, that was a hard day. He was sitting in the back, and we put the lap belt on him, and he had some marks from the seatbelt on his chest, and we just knew that was not right, so we called the pediatrician the next morning.
And so I took him, and she immediately said to us that after feeling his belly, looking at his bruising, she thought it was best to take him up to Morristown.
When she told me they want him to go to the hospital, I just texted her back, I'm scared. You didn't know what was coming, but you knew it wasn't right, and you knew it wasn't good.
He had a white blood cell count of over 450,000, and it was definitely leukemia. What we didn't know at the time was the other shoe was going to drop, because in addition to him having the T-cell leukemia, he had a mass on his chest that was closing his airway. We spent about a week in the ICU, and I suppose in hindsight it's for the better. We didn't actually know how high risk he was for mortality.
So many thoughts and feelings at the same time, fear, pain for him, confusion.
When somebody says, your son has cancer, you have no idea what to expect. You have no idea how to push forward. You just feel like the world has come out from underneath you.
When Tiffany was born, Tiffany had sickle cell disease. At that point, we were referred by our primary care doctor to the Valerie Fund Clinic.
I've been going to the Valerie Fund like my entire life.
She was 12 years old. It was very hot that weekend, and she had gotten dehydrated.
I felt a little bit ill, so I decided to go to my mom.
She went to get up to walk, and she started to trip, almost like her leg was asleep. And I asked her, I said, is your leg asleep? And she said, no. She said, it just feels funny. On the way to her room, she fell twice. And I started to realize that this was more than just, you know, something that was just gonna go away by sleeping.
Then my right arm stopped working. Then I blacked out, even though my eyes were open. My mom was talking to me through it all, and it was a very rough time for me. When I woke up at the hospital, I had forgotten who my family was, and I started crying a bit. And I was telling myself, that's my mom, that's my dad, those are my two sisters. What's going on? Why can't I speak? And I was very, very scared at the time.
It was so scary, but I have to tell you, the only thing that kept us going were the doctors and the nurses who kept us up to date on all the information. And it was so much support that even though we were going through, honestly, the worst day of our lives, we felt like we knew what was going on. We understood, and we felt supported.
When we got to the Valerie Fund Center, I would say Kelly made the biggest impression. She came over and she just immediately started to play with him, to talk to him, to get him to open up about what was going on so that we could see it from his point of view. The second person that we met was the social worker, and at the time it was Adrian and Anne, and they came in and really walked us through how they could be of service.
What can we help you with? Financial assistance, asking a lot of questions just to make the transition into his treatment a lot easier for us and manageable.
And I think it was Anne who was the first person to recognize, like, how are you feeling? And it was just kind of like, wait a minute, like, you're here for me too, that's amazing. Somebody came over to do a massage for us and we were like, what? Like, all right, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I get a massage. To be able to just take a couple of minutes and get a massage and wind down at clinic it's quite nice. Yeah, I always go after Anderson. He gets to go first, but
he does always get the massages. It's his favorite thing.
And my favorite.
Oh, okay. Well, he capitalizes on this every time we go. He gets a foot massage. They all know how he likes to get massaged, where he likes to get massaged.
Sometimes he doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay and play.
Playing with Play-Doh, and also doing Rich's Brew, and also doing beads.
He really enjoys his time there, so that it would, without having the Valerie Fund, it would have been a lot harder to get through.
I'm Nula. I'm 5 years old and a Valerie Fund kid.
The child life specialist, Miss Bree, at our clinic. I just don't know how we could have gotten through this last year without her.
Miss Bree does projects with me. She brings me crafts to do. Got to color it with markers.
The services that the Valerie Fund supports are the key services that make it possible to get through treatment.
Thank you, Valerie Fund! My name is Dean, and I'm 4 years old, and I'm a Valerie Fund kid.
I'm Jessica Sameta, and I'm a Valerie Fund mom.
Thank you for all of this.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm a Valerie Fund kid. My name is Liam, and I'm 9 years old. I'm Madison. I'm a Valerie Fund sibling, and I'm 23.
I love Camp Happy Times. Some of my favorite things at Camp Happy Times was playing Gaga or the welcome dinner they had. Please give a lot of money because I want to come back to Camp Happy Times.
I've been a Valerie Fund kid since 2016 at the start of my junior year of high school. I was treated at the Valerie Center at Morristown, and they made such a scary, daunting experience be one that was filled with love, care, and positivity. This scholarship has meant the world to me. It allowed me to attend my dream school at University of Notre Dame. I'm a tangible example of what your support has done for the Valerie Center, and I really hope that children who are battling treatment right now can have the same opportunities that I've had. So thank you again for your support, and have a great night.
And I'm so thankful to have this scholarship this year, and I've been at the Voorhees Outpatient Center of Children's Hospital of Philadelphia for my whole life, and they've been so great. Valerie Fund definitely provides opportunities for people who are sick. I'm so appreciative to my donors.
So I've practically been at the Valerie Fund my entire life. The staff there is wonderful. It's always seemed a bit more than just a doctor's visit. Always having a very close interpersonal relationship with my doctors and physicians. I love it there. I just plan to career-wise go into health policy and law. I'm very interested in bridging healthcare disparities and doing community health work, so I'm very excited to get to that phase of my life. And I would just like to say I'm extremely grateful for the Valerie Fund. They have played a huge part in my life, and even the scholarship in making going to college a little less burdensome. So I'm extremely grateful, and thank you.
I'd like to start by thanking Scott and Rachel Yedid for their immense generosity in starting the scholarship at the Valerie Fund. I've been a Valerie Fund kid since my sophomore year of high school. This scholarship continues to and has meant a lot to me, as it has helped me to pursue my education at Emory and continue pursuing my dream and goal of becoming a doctor. So thank you guys so much. And thank you to everyone here tonight for supporting the Valerie Fund. It has meant a lot to children like me. So thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Just breaking in here for a minute. Aren't our kids amazing? This is just such an incredible evening, but let's not forget why we're here. This text to donate bug is the number that you use to support the kids, and that's what makes it happen. So pay attention. Let's use that text to donate bug up in the corner, and then you could really show your love to all of our Valerie Fund kids.
She actually got out on the day before Halloween, and we brought her home, which was one of the happiest days of my life. At that time, she was still in a wheelchair. The Valerie Fund doctors and nurses were very, very into helping us get her back to where she was physically. They've worked with us over the years with getting her equipment, with getting her physical therapy, occupational therapy, cognitive rehab, and she has thrived. She really has. She's not 100%, but they took care of her not just physically but emotionally, and we needed that.
I now go twice a month for my blood work and my transfusion. The people at the Valerie Fund are very kind, very soothing. That's kind of like my second home.
You know, it's been a wonderful journey watching her overcome. You know, it's inspirational.
Her bravery is in the fact that she can put aside her own issues and try to do for other people and try to help other people. And that's the thing about her that makes her so incredible.
We, the nurses, everybody knows Tiffy. You know, they have her in there dancing. They took a video last week of her dancing off another child.
Yeah.
You know, Tiffy, through all her stuff, her issues, she's such a radiant child. And when she gets there, they love to take her around and meet the other kids and lift their spirits.
The dances that I do at the Valerie Fund are very fun, and a lot of people join me, like the nurses, the doctors. even the social workers.
The Valerie Fund people will tell you we're the goofy family when we're there, and we're always laughing about something because that's how we cope with our situation.
From all the experience I've had with dealing with other kids, it gives me courage just to see them smile. And it gives me courage just seeing my family smile brightly like the sun, because they're my rock.
I've always known that he's a fighter. He's incredibly strong. He's incredibly brave. Christmas morning was probably the toughest time. It was probably one of the first times since his initial diagnosis that he just was in so much pain, and he literally said to me, I wish this was a nightmare. And I said, it is a nightmare. And he said, no, it's not. This is real life. This is my life. And it just sucks. You don't know what to say. You just want to take it from them. The Valerie Fund Center certainly helps with that. Christmas morning, to be on the phone with them and to be able to reach out and say, this is not him. He's not feeling well. He's in pain. Help me. And to have somebody on the other line care and to know him and to know his baseline is amazing. When we went in afterwards, Kelly was all over him to make him feel better and to say, I'm so sorry that you went through that. My husband and I are still working full time. Managing somebody who has a catastrophic diagnosis, that's a full-time job in itself. To navigate this through COVID, it's a lot. We need a team. We cannot do this alone.
Invent Mario Kart. Now watch.
You've come so far in your treatment and you reach the remission point, but you're still not out of the woods. There is a chance that it could come back. It's in the blood, it's in his bone marrow. It's hard, and I worry about what happens in the future for him a lot. That's probably what I worry about the most. How this is going to affect him growing up. If he relapses, that's probably my biggest concern. Will I catch it? Will I know when it's happening again, if it happens again?
Wow, what an incredible evening. From our Valerie Fund families to all of yours, thank you for keeping the Valerie Fund kids close to your hearts. And an extra special thank you to Josh and Sharon Weintraub again for creating this amazing event, and to our committee members who keep it all going. Alex Benjamin and Sheila Peluso, Daniel Choquette, Matt DiNiccolo and Rachel Cecil, Brendan and Jennifer Garvey, Brad and Jennifer Hennis, Dan and Mary Hoffman, Randy Reef, Bob Richter, John and Debbie Sabiri, Mark and Bridget Toscano, Scott and Rachel Yedid, and Ben Zhang. You're all amazing. I guarantee you we will see you all in person in 2023 at the Mandarin Oriental.
you.